that I'm hearing. That sucks. Wait, why am I hearing myself? That's pretty strange. Wait. Okay, I'm good. That was so strange. Wow. All right, what up, people? What is going on? We're about to witness amazing things in Minnesota. You think so? You really think so? Freaking ads. I don't know. I'm skeptical, man. They gave up a lot. I think that's what I want to look at. I want to see if the Hornets actually won this trade because they're adding some good pieces. Let me see who they got in it. Who did Charlotte come away with? From Orlando, Venus, Phoenix. Did they get any higher picks? No. The first pick. So they got a big man, the forward, the rebounder. And then they got Christian Anderson Jr. Christian Anderson Jr. Let's see what he has. Christian Anderson. Texas Tech.
Atwell gives off to Anderson. Anderson gets some space. Jumper. Atwell gives off to Anderson. Anderson gets some space. Jumper.
And Boozer switching on to a little push there by Anderson.
Lead the all-time series, trying to beat the buzzer. Anderson
leads all scorers tonight with 9. Look at the hezzy. Look at the
tough shot. Jalen Petty.
He's a hooper.
His fourth start of the season.
Yikes.
Pass. Anderson.
So he can get up a little bit. He doesn't look like he's super tall, maybe like 6'3".
Anderson defended out front by a 7-foot center. Tries to go around and got inside.
Oh, tough.
Anderson's got to go. Baseline 3. Oh,
from way downtown.
I like this kid's game because he has an aspect of his game that's just about like getting buckets. And when he looks like he might be 6'3". When you're that size, you have to specialize in something, whether it's handles, playmaking, scoring, something. But you have to be able to make tough shots like this. And I think just the pieces that they're adding in Charlotte right now could be. They could be one of those teams in the East that kind of take a next step. They might not be contending for, coming out of the East, but they can definitely be one of those teams that take a step and definitely find their way into the playoffs.
He rises to the occasion, and he makes his presence felt from the beginning.
I mean, and you're going to need this. They just gave up LaMelo. They're going to need more ball handlers, more playmakers, more players at the kind of the backcourt position. So this is a good addition. So it looks like they might have been seeing this trade on the horizon and they planned for it. They didn't trade LaMelo with no plan of what to do next. They're adding pieces that could potentially start to build something special because they still got Concanapple. Oh my God. Yeah, this kid has a tight handle. He has a good shot, and his shot making ability is actually pretty good. And he's shooting. He's taking jump shots, which is to me harder to do than like get to the basket. Because he's a good shooter. And when you have a good jump shot, it kind of everything can play off of each other. If you make a couple jump shots, they're going to play you for that jump shot, and now it's going to be easier to get to the basket. So he has a good mix of both.
To play tough defensively.
Anderson on the move. Anderson.
The one thing that I do notice with guys this size, especially when it comes to like the 6'3" guards who are primary scorers, they're gonna have to learn how to be playmakers and how to run an offense more so than just look for their own shot, and that could be tough because they build habits and tendencies over a long course of time. So it'll be interesting to see how they utilize them and what positions they put them in when it comes to like the wing position.
Under 7 to play.
That's tough stuff, man. He's hunting for that 3.
Anderson trying to answer for three.
And I know this is a highlight. Oh, Lord. I know this is a highlight tape.
It's the 206.
But I know when you shoot threes like that, you can tend to be a little streaky. So we'll see. I don't know. I kind of like what I'm seeing. So this is kind of who they have now. Kobe White, Trey Mann, who to me could always get a bucket. But Con Knuppel, Christian Anderson, Sion James, Pat Connaughton. Wow, Pat Connaughton's a good pickup. He's a guy who's been around championship teams and he's won. So that's not bad. Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges. I don't know who that is. Can't pronounce it. Grant Williams, Liam McKeely, Josh Green. No, Josh Green just got traded. Yeah, Josh Green just got traded. And then they have Naz Reid. And then yeah, Xavier Tillman. They honestly, so they got PJ Hall. They got Heinz Steinbach. They probably could use another center. They have some pretty good forwards. They could probably use another center. Well, I mean, this team, bro, don't write them out. This could be okay. They could be a good team. You said you should look at who's Toby Lowell? Who did he get drafted by? The Mavericks?
That would be really big for Mike Young.
Here he is again. Wow, with the
Whoa.
right hand.
You saw it coming.
Unbelievable.
You saw it coming, didn't you?
Whoa.
Penetration, kick it
What
back
a
out.
first step.
Got that great first step.
Wow.
Somerville
Well,
not
wow.
quick enough for that. From under the basket. Look at this camera work.
This arena sucks.
A 16-0 run. Now a 16-1 run. Swing down low.
Woo.
Skinner gets swatted by Lowell.
I like that.
Some of
You
the
hear
energy that the Hokies need.
bounce
Here
off the
comes
backboard.
Poteet to the glass.
In his first year at USC Upstate.
Okay, bringing him off the pin down? Nope, they're bringing him off
Howard
the
Johnson
lob.
with the
Okay, so he's a
alley-oop.
lob. He's a lob threat.
I don't know if anybody's better than Mike
Athletic
Young.
wing,
They see the
forward.
screen. Jaden Young
What else can he
with the
do, though?
screen
Is he
and-
just straight rim running? Can he?
Lowell got his defender in the air, and he goes airborne.
Whoa.
Unbelievable.
Fake, got the man up, path clears. Here comes some help.
Hey, bro, he
Too
has like Eamon Thompson. I don't know if he has that of Eamon Thompson because Eamon Thompson is like a really good playmaker, rebounder, does a lot of things. The only thing I'm seeing from this kid is just straight athleticism. He has Caleb Wilson type athleticism, but I'm guessing the thing that separates him and Caleb is the fact that Caleb can do just about everything, or at least more than what he's showcasing so far. Everything he's getting is just like crazy dunks, but I want to see him like, what can you do? Like, how is your actual game? Are you
Coach Young has said that he
Just
is
like an
the best
opportunistic-
athlete that he's ever had the opportunity to coach.
oh my God. But that,
In
I
fact,
mean,
his head.
he's an athlete. He hasn't shot a three
Corner
yet.
three. In and out from Bryce Baker. And there's Lowell on the defensive end.
He's an athlete.
We talked about Toby Lowell.
And he has great length.
Defensive end.
He's not just like athletic. He has
We talked
really
about
long arms, bro.
Toby
Like, look at that extension on that block. Like,
Lowell's wild plays.
yeah, you
Here's
could definitely
one of
use him. I don't know if you're gonna run too many plays for him, but he's definitely gonna be a guy that you could put in energy, go give me rebounds, go give me effort, and then go get a dunk, energize this crowd.
They really helped on him, leaving the roll man wide open. Donovan Rivers with a couple early baskets.
He's yet to shoot.
Lowell, the pump fake, beautifully executed. He finishes and a chance for
I
a
mean,
three-point play.
he's just raw. He's trying to
Really
figure
nice
it out.
job of taking his time. I love post players when they're calm and just take their time down low. You've got the basketball, you know where.
Yeah, he has
Nigel
to.
Poteet with 11. He's got the basketball. Puts it on the
Yeah,
deck.
so he's doing a lot of that.
With two
Just
hands.
cutting, getting to the basket, finishing.
2-3 zone, get the ball to the high
I don't know,
post.
bro. Amen Thompson is a lot different from what you're seeing here. He can do all this stuff too, but he can also play make. He can attack from the wing. He can handle the rock. And then he's a demon on the defensive end. But this guy, I haven't seen a shot yet, and that's very telling. All he's getting is assisted plays to the basket.
The basketball and it.
Well, as you
and yep, I'm guessing a block's about to come up.
At this point, Tech comes in on a 4-game losing streak, 3-4 overall.
Oh, he's about to
Here's a
freak
chance
this.
in transition. Shoot, banks
Oh,
it
no.
in.
That I don't know why that was a highlight for him.
the Hokies.
Yeah, he was going to play.
There we go.
First conference game.
So he can't dribble?
Yep.
I can tell just from that alone.
He was going to
First of all, his first instincts, pick the ball up, find somebody that can dribble. That, to me, lets me know he's probably not comfortable with the ball in his hands.
play. He was going to play.
First conference game.
He was
Yeah.
going to play.
Yep. He ain't sitting this one out. There's the freshman.
And then he
Tyler
almost, he could have got that with
right
either
to the
hand.
rack for two.
His wingspan is 6'10" at 6'8". Yeah, I mean, he's an athlete, bro. I could see him being a two-way player, and him just getting a ton of reps, them working with him, developmental stuff, learning how to use his body, learning how to put, a post move to memory. But also,
Attack mode. Right
I mean, he's just gonna get a lot of chances to play at a higher
to the
level.
rim for two.
Again.
Because like all the highlights he's had have been against like Harthorpe or like some little tiny school that you just
Getting
never
the ball
heard of.
inside.
And he knows that
No, NCANT.
his season in a one-bid league is all about the tournament in March.
Rex Steiner.
Yeah, so he's gonna be a project. He's gonna have some things he needs to work on, but that's not bad. You still hoop sometimes? Not really. I haven't hooped in years. It's too painful on my body now. But yeah, like I said, bro, the Hornets look like they might have came away with this win. I mean, what did the what did they get? All right, so Minnesota gets LaMelo Ball, Josh Green. That's it. This is all they got. This is it right here. The Hornets get Naz Reid, one of the best six-man in the league, one of the best big men in the league. You get an unprotected first-round pick. You get first-round pick swaps in 28, 29, and 30. You get second-round picks to 29, 32, and 33. These could all play out big. And then maybe this if this team doesn't do well. But yeah, backcourt pairing, you get Edwards and Ball together, which is going to be cool, but it's like, I don't know if that equates to winning, right? But the roster shifts big time. You lose Julius Randle, and then you get like a cluster of guards for the Timberwolves that aren't necessarily like bigger wings. They're all just like kind of guards and primary ball handlers. So yeah, you're gonna have to figure that out. And then now you're lacking a little bit of size as well. But what are you gonna do? And then now, like I said, Charlotte's future looks a little brighter. The Hornets pivot toward their core center of Brandon Miller and recent high draft pick Con Canupa while adding the versatile Naz Reid. Yeah, analysts note Ball's injury history and the adjustment period between the two dominant stars. The Minnesota's medical staff expressed confidence in keeping him on the floor. I don't know, man. It's looking like if I had a guess on it, I think the Hornets will be drastically better going into next year, and I think you might see the Timberwolves. They'll still play very well. They'll still have Ant, they'll still have LaMelo and a few other guys, but I don't think they'll be as consistent, and it'll be a little bit harder for them to kind of figure out their new way of playing. But I feel like Naz Reid, he probably fits in well with how the Hornets play. And if you bring him off the bench, now you have a primary, anchor on the second unit that can go in and make plays that you can center everything around and not worry about, your first unit and this and that. So I don't know, man. Hornets might be a threat in the East. If they get rolling, they could be a good team. That's just how I see it. I don't know. I think the Hornets really messed up. The trade is essentially LaMelo for Nas. I don't know, bro. I feel like LaMelo was good, bro, but I would rather have him. I build the team around him. LaMelo's good, and then against him, it's just like sometimes he's not always healthy. And that's what they said just now. Like that's one of the things that they were concerned about, that they expressed like confidence in, that they can keep him on the floor. But that to me is gonna be one of the things you gotta worry about. But yeah, man, I don't know. Hornets. But like I said, Chicago Bulls, Dalen Swain, Caleb Wilson. I like what they're building out there in Chicago. You got two potentially nice anchors and corner pieces for your franchise. If you can start to build slowly around them, play the slow game, in a few years' time, you could be, in the playoffs for once, right? Chicago Bulls haven't been relevant since, D Rose and Joakim Noah, and then before that, since Jordan. So hopefully things work out. There was something else I wanted to see. Rumors about Kawhi. Oh, and about LeBron too. So my understanding that there hasn't been any offer out, and there hasn't been an offer out to LeBron James yet this far as he's his free agency, but we'll see how far that develops. So I heard that they weren't really reaching out.
Of all of this. So my understanding is there hasn't been an offer out to LeBron James yet as far as his free agency. LeBron James and then Rui Hachimura in that order. So they got Austin.
16 team repeating that. As long
I heard that the talks between the Lakers and LeBron have been kind of limited up to this
as
point.
that happens, I'm good with it. But Shams, what is the latest that you're hearing right now on LeBron's future as it pertains to the Lakers?
The Lakers have been pursuing parallel paths so far this offseason. One is their own free agents, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and then Rui Hachimura in that order. So they got Austin Reeves done, right? 4 years, $185 million max contract. So now it's on LeBron and Rui Hachimura. But the other path that they've been doing is they've got about $50 million in cap space. They've been seeking out trade suitors. Who can we trade for and absorb and bring into this $50 million? And if they are able to find
Jaylen Brown and Luka. I would trade Austin Reeves for Jaylen Brown. Easy. Not even thinking twice about it. You just signed him to a fat deal. Get Jaylen Brown, LeBron, and Luka together, and they keep Rui.
And a player or two to put in there, that impacts what they can offer LeBron. And
you just said it, Juicy. Bro, you must have been saying it as I was speaking it out. Yes, Lakers need to get rid of Austin Reeves. Luka and him in the backcourt really don't work. Bron got to go to the Cavs or the Warriors. He's messing up the Lakers. He's been messing up for years. Hate to say it, Bron's my GOAT. LeBron's getting older for sure, but I would still want to keep LeBron, but not utilize him as like what we're used to seeing him. He's still a very versatile, high IQ level player that can adapt to any role that you give him. I would still give him a big role, but in terms of like handling the rock and playmaking as much, I would use him almost similar to what I think like you could use Draymond, but like on freaking steroids, like on Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire level difference between, Draymond. But if you use LeBron like that, and if you get a guy like him and Jaylen Brown, oh, bro, that could be lethal. But I mean, like they said, they got a lot of money. They got to figure some things out.
And they have been very active in doing the trade aspect of all of this. So my understanding is there hasn't been an offer out to LeBron James yet as far as his free agency. We'll see how that develops over the next 4 or 5 days when free agency starts.
Yeah, Luka needs people that can play off the ball. The more people that he can kind of play make too, the better. Kind of like similar to LeBron, where like any team LeBron was on, he was like the primary ball handler to when it came down to like when it mattered. And I think when it comes to Luka, he needs something similar to that, to where he can get to the basket, but he's going to need a big that can finish a lob or a bounce pass, or he can get to, the paint, draw out to another shooter, to a Rui, to a Jaylen. And then when there's instances where he has to kind of rely on somebody to score, instead of LeBron at his old age, if you have a guy like Jaylen Brown, who's a great two-way player that can put up 50, like that would be a great outlet for him on the Lakers. Like, that would be insane.
But a lot of it is like, how much can we upgrade the roster and then potentially go back to LeBron? Or do you take care of LeBron first and then figure out any type of potential roster move?
You mentioned the $50 million in cap space. I mean, in theory, they have that, but there's also the DeAndre Ayton player option. Marcus Smart has the player option. So slowly, Vince, some of those, that number's going to dwindle a little bit and what they're going to be able to offer LeBron James. But you hear Kevin Garnett there. He made his pitch. Very, very good one, by the way, about why LeBron should go back to Cleveland. Do you think that he'd be better off leaving LA?
No, I don't think you'd be better off leaving LA. The question is, would LA be better off not having LeBron? I think the answer to both those questions is no.
Man, when you get behind that announcer desk, somebody hiring, hey, we'll see. Maybe I use this as a platform in my audition, and they'll come to me.
Build a reasonable contender. I don't think LeBron at this stage of his career is winning a championship. He's going to be 42 years old in December, and he's worth so much more than a veteran minimum or a mid-level contract, which is going to be.
But here's the thing, like, with a guy like LeBron, he's still hunting these huge fucking contracts, and I'm like, I get it. You deserve it. But what do you want more? Do you want a chance to actually go out there and compete to winning a championship, or do you just want to just rake in the dollars, which you don't really need? You're going to make the same amount of money once you retire anyway. I feel like you could take the pay cut, find a team that that you could just absolutely, put over the top, and then go that route. Like, don't always like ask for like, oh, I need the max for me to even listen to what you guys are talking about, because then that puts teams in a position of like, all right, bro. Like, it's either we stuck with LeBron and we just don't have enough, or he can take a pay cut and then he can finally help us get some people here that he would enjoy playing with that will benefit everybody on the roster. But that's the thing, bro. It's fucking annoying. And at the same time, too, he's talking about LeBron in a sense of like, oh, he's 42 years old. He can't keep doing the same thing. That's if you utilize him like he's in his 12th year in Cleveland and he's, the main focal point and he has all this youth in him. It's not that. Just utilize him as a player in his 42nd year, the same way you would look at like an Al Horford or somebody, or a Mike Conley. I mean, clearly, granted, he's not one of those players, but he definitely needs to not be the main focal point of the offense anymore, because he doesn't have that same quick first step he used to have, and he's a lot older. But if you treat him like a role player, he could be the greatest role player you've ever fucking seen.
When you're the Lakers, you have the first time in the time since LeBron has been there. LeBron is not the first priority. Luka Doncic is. And how is LeBron going to be able?
And I think for LeBron, that could be an ego thing. It's the first time he's never been the top priority on his team, and he might feel a certain way or view it or interpret that as like, I don't know. It's just something that's never happened to him, and now he's been on a team where it's like Luka's our fucking cornerstone and you're not. It's a tough pill to swallow for a guy like LeBron.
To handle dealing with that, because LeBron's needs and Luka's needs are two totally different things, and that's what makes this all the more fascinating.
Well, Tim, I mean, you hear what Vince says there about he's better off in Los Angeles. So does LeBron need to take less money, effectively a team-friendly deal here, but not something that would be absurd, because he is worth obviously way more than a veteran minimum deal, obviously. But like, does he need to take less money to help out the Lakers in order for them to get to a championship?
Do the Lakers need him to take a significant pay cut? Absolutely, because if he doesn't, there's no more financial flexibility. And this is the summer that the Lakers promised Luka Doncic that you would see real upgrades to the roster, to the rest of the rotation. So to me, the Lakers need to figure out what their options are, what they can get done, and go to LeBron and say, hey, we can do X, Y, and Z. This is the number that we have for you. Say it as politely as possible, as respectfully as possible.
No, this is where Luka needs to like pull the alpha dog move and directly reach out to him. Not to be like, bro, did you take a pay cut? But just like talk to him, reach out to him, be like, hey, what are you thinking? Like, just kind of persuade him, if you will. Kind of like stroke his ego a little bit, pause, but like just kind of let him know, like, bro, please, like, I understand you want all this money, but I can make it up to you if we can go deep into the playoffs and make a run at the championship. Like, if you can get him to believe that, he'll probably be willing, not probably be willing, but that might help your case to get him to take a team-friendly deal. But I just think if you don't approach him like that, bro, it's not going to work.
Possible, but
Luka would never do that, though. Exactly.
fact is, it's
I just
not
don't,
like
yeah,
him.
it's like, you know, it's LeBron. It's like how I don't really have the right to ask you this, but like I kind of have the right to ask you this. It feels like Dwayne Wade or, you know, Chris Bosh or Chris Paul. Those guys could, you know, hit him up easy and be like, bro, help us out. But if you're not one of those dudes, you probably are going to be like, oh, fuck, I don't even know how to approach this
Max
guy.
opportunities for LeBron this summer. You know, he
But yeah, enough of that. It's going to be crazy, man. The other thing I saw too, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard trade talks. So I heard he wants to, two of the teams that he wants to go back to are the Toronto Raptors and the San Antonio Spurs. These three teams out here, I completely don't expect them to make any real moves. They don't have the money. He's not going to want to go to Detroit, and he's not going to want to go to Philly. I think it's only one of these two teams that are going to be a realistic option for Kawhi. And that would be dope. Like if he goes back to Toronto, I don't know if that makes them a contender or if that really does much to their team. But it would be a nice little, you know, sentimental reunion for the people of Toronto to see the guy who brought them their one and only championship. But if you get him on the Spurs, that could potentially be something to watch out for. I mean, that they would be putting together a juggernaut of a defensive team over there in San Antonio between him, Wemby, the new kid they got. I forgot his name. The new kid they got from Kentucky / Arizona, Castle, Vassell, all those guys. He would be a great benefit to them and helping them really like learn how to play high level basketball. And he's back at home in San Antonio. That would be insane. But who do the Spurs trade? I don't know, man. Maybe you give away Vassell, you give away Carter Bryant. Who knows? You gotta try to make that. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's just fun to think about to see if this guy could potentially go back to one of those two teams. I think he could potentially, if he finds his way onto San Antonio for whatever reason, they could probably win it with him, and he would just be one of those unique GOAT players that are just like you kind of overlook, but every time he plays, he just performs. So I would take a chance on that, but it's really hard to know what's going to happen. He's on a final year, a $50 million year. Like that's fucking insane. Who's going to want to take that on? And I know that the Spurs I don't know if they have a lot of money, but they're going to start to have to pay some of the younger players soon. That would be tough. Yeah, send him and Fox and Vassell. But I would only be willing to do that if I knew he was going to resign for like another 2 years at least. If he doesn't do that, then it's like no go. But it's not bad, bro. It's not bad. I could definitely see that. And then who else? Mark Williams signed with the. Yeah, he re-signed with the Suns. 3-year deal for what, like 27 million, 30. Okay, so he's getting like, 10, 11 a year. It's not bad. Yeah, Suns, that nobody ever wants to go to San Antonio. So when you got good players worth of anything, you got to bring them back. That's as simple as that. 11-8 last year. Yeah, that's not a bad deal. He'll be flexible. He'll get better. He'll be worth a little bit more, hopefully, potentially. Knock on wood. But yeah, bro. So I was watching the game. Not watching the game. I was watching a WNBA highlight of. Have you guys heard about this chick, Olivia Miles? Olivia Miles with the Minnesota Lynx. She's like that, bro. Y'all thought Caitlin Clark was nice. Shorty here, freaking with the Cyclop goggles on, is out here giving work to people, bro. Straight work. Yeah, she's nice. She went to Notre Dame and then TCU. Man, she got the Cyclops goggles of death and despair. She is cold, bro. Rookie of the month. Let's see what she got.
A 3-point lead for the Lynx.
Oh!
Miles, a gnarly step-back three. Lead for the
nice
Lynx.
Miles, left to right, too. Left to right? And then shooting with the right hand is, like, insanely difficult, bro. Maybe going right and then snatching back with your right to the left and going into it. But going to the left and then going to the right and snatching back like that is the devil's work.
A 3-point lead for the Lynx. Miles, a gnarly step-back three per game. This was just nasty.
Yeah, this is beautiful. It's just control, her body control.
Her shot looks
Atlanta
amazing,
teams trying
bro.
to figure each other out. I would even suspect the second half will look much different for them as they settle down.
Miles flips a pass to Big Bro.
Down, figure each other out.
Hey, the one thing I used to hate in the NBA was when I was guarding a really good, like, all-star player, and they're dribbling the ball up the court, and you're trying to pick them up right here. It is like one of those things where you're just like, okay, stay ready, be ready for the move, be ready for the move. I mean, you're like almost psyching your head out before they even get across half court, and then you're just like so quick to react to the first move, you get burnt with the second one, and there's nothing you can do.
I would even suspect.
Oh yeah, like James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, anybody with a quick handle, you're just like, fuck, here we go.
Look much different for them as
You gotta start moving those feet now, though.
they settle down.
This is a dime.
Miles flips a pass to McBride, a dazzling assist.
The best part of the game, and Olivia Miles.
Oh my Lord, bro.
I mean, that is a beautiful pass right in between two defenders. Look at the sidearm.
Beckers had 3 assists.
Ooh, with the throw out, too.
Last outing, had 4 assists in the opener. She has a season-high 7 already.
Tough. Give me that. Oh, scream at her.
To come off the ball screens at the top and just put her eyes on
Hey!
the rim. Defense a little to the top.
That's such a tough gather. The no left hand, just like bounce it, flip it. Yeah, she's already going to the layup right now.
Season-high 7 already.
Tough.
That's Miles.
She got game.
She loves to come off the ball screens at the top and just put her eyes on the rim. Defense a little late trying to rotate,
tough.
but when it's in the middle of the floor, Miles being guarded by
She's going crazy.
Tries to get downhill and open lane.
You seen lately she's only been going left because everybody been saying she can only go right. Oh my God, she's like that. If she's like that, then she got crazy game and confidence.
Williams alongside her, give and go, and she will finish with the lay-in. Beautiful basketball and passing by Natasha Howard.
Just a beautiful play in, but here is the rook. Miles going in, laying in. I mean, this is what everyone was hoping for. But do it by keeping this.
A pistol.
Finish now. No, Courtney.
So look, this is a pistol action right here. Pistol, right? The person kind of comes up, not to the elbow, but like kind of on the sideline. And then she has a bunch of different things she could do. She can go play with her. She can go straight to the hoop. She can come off the dribble handoff. But because she's so hugged up on her, she's like, I think I could just beat her to the hoop.
Williams alongside
and that's what she
her,
does.
give and go, and she will finish with the lay-in. Beautiful basketball and passing by Natasha Howard.
Just a beautiful play in, but here is the rook. Miles going in, laying in. I mean, this is what everyone was hoping for. But do it by keeping themselves on the floor.
Yeah, I should have added that to the
T.Ross
list of
took up Sunday Creighton's highlights versus the Lynx.
Without fouling, we heard it enough times for Coach Reed.
It's a big list. Let's remember.
Give me that.
Olivia Miles plugs way to the rim.
I like her. She got confidence too. She got swag. She got confidence, and she got game. Love to see it.
One-on-one to the rim, and just the consistency that you have seen.
She looked like she's funny as hell.
Olivia Miles back the other way here for the Lynx.
Oh.
Into her dribble bag, attacking Cannon.
Again.
What a start for the Lynx. And you have to love it. There was a great defensive stop and then a tremendous lay-in. Going out early here at Target Center with an easy lay-in for the Minnesota Lynx.
She's
5 on the
tough.
shot clock for Miles. Attacking. Reverse layup. What a
I like her game, bro.
through there. She
She doesn't play like rookie. She plays like she's been on the team for 3 years.
Her ability to get 2 feet in the paint.
Ross, I'm curious. You watch your own highlights from time to time? I used to when I was playing. I haven't in a while.
And Chicago 1 for 11 from 3.
Great vision.
Howard rim running. Howard.
Great finish.
Wow. Talk about the touch.
Just Olivia Miles, you just look at her head. She's always surveying. You look at her eyes. Oh,
comment.
Oh, I have left-hand bias.
What you gonna do, Cam Cardozo?
Not gonna lie. Here's Miles
straight to the basket.
Right at Cardoso.
On the screen to pick up her second foul before the action of the shot.
Strip.
And as Chicago turns it over on the inbounds, Miles to the rack.
She got a good right hand though.
It has something to say.
Really nice job by Miles. Clutch buckets back to back.
Minute to go before halftime here at Target Center. Minnesota seeking its first win here
Oh,
this
no
season.
look.
That'll do it. The no-look pass and a brilliant play
They
by
beat
the
the brakes
rookie.
off Toronto. She's good, bro. She got rookie of the year in the bag for sure.
Quick first step and scores. Yeah, Miles again, her
20-19 lead for Phoenix over the visiting Lynx.
Raised first step, able to get past the defense of Olivia Miles. She is quick. Has to go under the screen here, though, giving some space. And
Miles looking like a magician already with the ball in her hands.
How are
They're getting easy
how is she
baskets.
just
Olivia Miles passing to her teammates for easy
patient?
hooks. Good
She's
defense,
not
but
rushing
don't finish
things.
with
Nobody's
the
speeding
rebound.
her
You
up.
have to finish that possession
Her
with
change
the
of pace
board.
is insane.
Also new into the game for the Lynx, a Mesa Hoff here.
You know what I mean? Just like that. Her change of pace is elite.
Nice run. They're getting easy baskets. Olivia Miles passing to her teammates.
Because that's one thing you see with a lot of young players. Like, they think that since the game is fast, everything they do just has to be like speed, speed, speed. And yes and no, you have to learn how to change speeds and turn that speed off and use it at certain moments. Like, she does a good job with this. So right now, she's coming up the court quick. She slows down. She changes her speed. Now she's damn near standing still. That kind of takes the defense out of the rhythm. They don't know if they should like get into you quick or kind of inch out there. She puts a move on her. She looks like she's about to go quick.
Also
Boom. She changes pace again.
To the game for the Lynx.
Changes pace again right here. Boom. Stops.
Mesa Hoff here is
That's so hard to guard, man. She plays good defense on her too. It's just like
able to go back.
Hoff here is Miles.
But the reason why you change pace is because look at her balance, right? She's in control of her body. She looks like she's about to fall forward, right? She's still leaning forward. She's back standing up. And now she can change pace while you're still trying to recover. As soon as you recover, she's already back on the move. And that's what makes it so hard to guard people who can change pace. That's why it's so hard to guard Kyrie, Steph, Donovan Mitchell, guys like that. It's just because they can go from 100 to 0 in like an instant.
Each side to find where.
And then when you have the shooting ability, it's like you don't need a lot of space to kind of figure out where your next shot is coming from. As long as you know you can create that little pocket of air that you can get to,
she wants to get.
You're deadly.
Olivia Miles using that high screen, sheds her defender.
Oh no. Whoever said that thing about, you know, she only goes right, she dead ass in this whole video is only finished with her right. Ooh, she like that.
Is going to make a big, big impact. Look at this move, the way she uses the screen, but her
With the right, bro. I can't believe she finished that.
Through contact as a rookie, that's special.
Miles maneuvering and leaves it again. Beautiful basketball
for Atlanta, but look at the pass from the rookie. It's beautiful. It makes it has some fun passing, and I think that's going to be a big part of her being a sensational player. And I think that's going to be a big part of her being a sensational
Shorty there when none of it. Timeout. She said, Coach, call a timeout. Get me out of here.
Olivia Miles says, I want to take it for myself this time. The Lynx are up here, 69-66 with 2:23 left.
Like, when you play basketball so much, like, these moves become, like, etched into your DNA. Like, the ability to do a quick step back at a moment's notice. It's like a twitch. It's like a muscle twitch.
Olivia Miles.
So, like, you see how, like, she could have gone right by her, but she saw that she's standing up. She sees the space here. She likes the space that she has. She just hits the hezzy. She just hits a little bow,
I want to
side
take it
step.
for myself this time.
I'll just stay right here.
The Lynx are up
It's
here,
insane.
69-66 with 2:23 left to go in this preseason battle.
Start to her WNBA career. Howard with the
Ooh, you're too deep.
mismatch.
Doesn't take advantage of it.
Ooh.
Gets it back though, and the patience pays off for the Minnesota.
She's so under control all the
That
time,
catch,
dog.
middle of the lane, low block on a post-up. She's been able just to go to work.
McBride streaking to the rim for two.
Execution, if you are the Minnesota Lynx and they get it back
Right.
to back.
That's the one thing I love about women's basketball. They might not have like all the same athleticism that men have, but their ability to run plays and make it look like super clean.
Out of bounds plays.
Next level, bro.
Miles carves inside, count it.
I like her.
Foul.
I like her game. I'll put her on my team.
Miles high off the window. Oh no, she hit her with a too small, Leah. The rookie, Olivia Miles, has shown that she does not deserve to be called a rookie. She is
No.
doing a little bit of everything in here, including talking
She's
a
sunning these grown ass women. I
little bit
love
of
it.
smack.
A 2-1 record, down 15 or more for Atlanta, but Howard gets things going
Andrew Reese like, I don't know what to do.
For the Lynx. And it's a huge miscommunication. You can see some frustration on Georgia Canada's face. Olivia Miles doing Olivia Miles things. A beautiful, easy lay-in.
I didn't know what to do.
For Minnesota, McCowan was trying to post up,
Yeah, one boy.
and instead,
Yeah, she's like that, bro. I like her game. She's gonna be a fun player to watch. Can't wait to see her in like 6-7 years and see how much better she is. She's gonna be a problem. She's going to be a problem. Oh yeah, the Jaylen Brown trade. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Sports talk. Yep, here we go. Celtics have asked some teams for at least four first-round picks in a potential Jaylen Brown trade. That's way too much, bro. That's way too goddamn much. That's way too much. I mean, I like Jaylen Brown, and I understand the Celtics like, nah, we want to kind of rebuild our team through the draft as well, but like that's a lot. And I understand because I mean Desmond Bane got 4 first-round picks, so I guess it's not a lot. But like I said, figure out a way to get him to. But do the Lakers have 4 first-round picks? I doubt it. Yeah, there's no way they're gonna be able to get Jaylen. The Lakers have not made an offer to LeBron James, and communication has been limited since free agent opened. Oh, the Thunder are trading Isaiah Joe to the Pistons? No way. I'm not signing up for this. Oklahoma City Thunder are trading sharpshooter Isaiah Joe for the Pistons for 2 future second-round picks. That's good for Detroit. Okay, a little small bonus with Detroit. Detroit Pistons are signaling that Jalen Duren would not be traded and are focused on finalizing a deal to keep their all-star center. I know it. He had a bad showing in the playoffs, but that's okay. It's his first time. He's going to be better. They still have faith in him. You had to make this deal. What are you going to do? Let him walk over up and down playoff experience? Come on now, bro. That's retarded. That is foolish. Kylan Boswell, 2-way contract. This guy's going back to Auburn. Kawhi Leonard would be opening to sign an extension with the Raptors if traded from the Clippers. If he goes to the Raptors again, I just don't expect that team to be. I don't know. They're not going to be that crazy. See what you're missing. No, can I skip this? You're not going to let me watch? That's crazy. Whatever. But yeah, all that for Jaylen Brown is a little too much in my eyes. I'm tired of Jaw staying in Memphis alone. He also got to get moved. Nobody's going to move him. Nobody's going to move him. John Morant Super Talks. Trades available June 25th. I don't like that. John Morant super available. Like, super available. How much does he make? Basketball. How much is he on this year? Sorry, let's say John Morant. Here we go. So next year he gets 42, and the year after that he gets 44. This is the reason why nobody wants to trade for John Morant, is because he's owed $42 million, and then he's owed $44 million the year after that. Let's just look at his stats. That'll be okay if he played more than 20 games this year. He played 50 games last year, 9 games the year before. He's never played more than 70 games. He's never played more than 67 games in a season, which was his first season. He still doesn't have a jump shot. He gets hurt a lot, and then he's owed 44 and 45. They're already starting to rebrand and rebuild the Memphis team. Can't even see their picks. But they've already have started to restructure. They have Cameron Boozer. They have another big that they just drafted. They have a few other pieces that they are really not like going in the same direction that they were a few years ago. They've traded Jalen John, or what's his name? The big Jaren Jackson. They traded Desmond Bain. I mean, they're going in a different direction, and they can't offload John Morant, and teams are not going to be willing to take that contract on, unless they can get so much in return for it. So I'm guessing picks, first round picks, a ton of them, as much as you can give them, and then maybe another player in return. But they're just not going to take on all of that for him to be hurt, and then him to still have the same issues as he had pretty much his entire career. So he's backed himself into a corner. It sucks. Hopefully, if he can he still has 2 more years with this team. If he can find a way to kind of put his ego aside, get out of his feelings, and find a way to go out there and try to figure out where he could be valuable to this team, he could save his career. If he doesn't, this could be the end of it. That last big contract year will probably be the end of it. And if he does come back to the league, it will be on an unbelievably different contract than what he's currently on. So it's a tough situation to be in. But that's just the NBA, man. What is he suffering with? Out for the season with an elbow injury? That sucks. But that's the thing about Ja. If he has to figure out a way to stay in the gym, get that jump shot down, and just prove to people like I still have more in me. Because if you don't, bro, you'll be surprised how fast people will move on. You'll be surprised. Like, they'll give James Harden another chance. But guess what? He can shoot. I still believe in him, man, until he fully falls off. But the thing about it is, like, he's super talented. He could go to another team and help. But when you're in a situation like this, he's been on a team that's been gutted for a few years now, and like he's probably in his head and in his feelings about it. I mean, he ain't gonna say it, but you can just tell, like, the joy that team once had with Desmond Baines and Dylan Brooks and all those guys, and they're dancing in, the pre-games and the warm-ups and having fun, and, it's a parade in my city and all that shit. It's none of that. He doesn't feel like that. He doesn't act that same way now. You barely even remember him being on the team. So like I know what that feeling is, bro. That happened to me. I got, not to this extent, but I got traded, or I saw all my guys get traded, and I was stuck on a team that really didn't know which direction they were going. And it fucking sucks, bro. It hurts. It's mentally like frustrating because you have to go into a place of work every day where you feel like the joy isn't always there. So hopefully if he can, pull himself out of that and handle that, he has a chance. But it's a tall order. It's a lot harder than people realize or even think. But hopefully, man, he'll be okay. Because he was fun to watch at one point. The third seed year, Memphis was something special. They were exactly. They were fun to watch, bro. They were must-see TV. That series between the Timberwolves, where they had a young Ant, and then they had like a really good Memphis team. That was a great playoff series. But it's hard, bro. And I trust me, I know like basketball, especially at this level, it is all mental. And depending on how well your mental is, determines how well you can go out there and perform. And when something's off, it's like, you know, a car with all the engine lights on, and the car's just not working the same. It's just always something going on, bro. Until you can get right and get everything back to neutral, it's hard to perform. But I want to close this thing up with some film breakdown, some basketball knowledge.
In an average game.
And this is called moving without the ball. Like guys like Clay, trying to go off the head, Rip Hamilton, shooters, really. People that can move without the ball and that don't require the ball in their hand are just so valuable to a team, because everybody feels like they have to dribble and they have to get into their bag to get a point. Sometimes you just need guys who can move and play without the ball, because it turns into a cheat code. Turns into a crazy cheat code. Like Clay, remember that time he scored 60-some points and he only took like 4 dribbles? It's like one of the hardest things to stop when you have a guy that doesn't need the ball in his hands, and you know if he just finds open space, the ball's going to find him.
You only have the ball in your hands about 10% of the game. But if you're able to be,
and look what it does to the defense. Like,
even when you don't have the game, you only have the ball in your hand.
The ball moves faster than what any person, even the fast Derrick Rose, John Wall, De'Aaron Fox, the ball moves faster than everybody. Just look what it can do. Like
10%
like
game.
It just if you're able can't to keep up with it sometimes.
When you don't have the ball, you become that much more valuable. Off-ball movement is a skill. It definitely starts with wanting and willing to be active, but there's a lot of strategy and feel that goes into it. And if you develop this, it can literally change your career. And to be honest, you'd be surprised at how often defenders completely lose you and will literally give you easy points or assists because of it. So we'll go over a bunch of different ways you can move off the ball, and then some general principles to help you get easier buckets. Let's get it.
Oh, I might like this.
So first, our baseline cuts. These are easiest when the ball is being driven from up top and when you're weak side of the floor like this. If you think,
yeah, anytime you have a strong dribble going to the hoop and guys turn their head, it should just trigger you to just run right at them. Because even if they know that you're cutting, by the time they have, like, the time it takes for them to find you, you've already got the ball and you're probably already going
about
up.
It, defenders are taught to see both ball and man, which with this angle is almost impossible to do at once. And most defenders will just naturally prioritize the ball, which is definitely the wrong thing to do, but it's human nature, which means this is often open. So when you see a defender a bit too high, or you see this defender get distracted by going and helping, that burst to the rim can be an easy 2 points. This can come from the strong side too, though, especially if this player gets an advantage and draws this defender. But we'll talk about that later. Next are 45 cut gets an advantage.
That's why I always say, do not help on the strong side, bro.
And draw.
Don't help strong side, because when you come up out of this corner, strong side means where the ball is, right? The ball's on this side, it's the strong side. The ball's on that side, it's the strong side. So this is the weak side because it's empty, not empty, but the ball's over here. When you're guarding a man in the strong side corner, stay to him. You can be in help, but you can't do this right here. You can't step up to him, because if he drives and this man cuts, there's no help anywhere to stop this.
We'll talk about that later. Next are 45 cuts, or cuts from the wing, or 45, which are best in the opposite situation, when your teammates get to the base.
Yeah, I guess they explain with a 45 cut, everybody teaches it different, but it's more so just a principle thing. It's more so just a principle thing when you're driving baseline, again, people will turn. Sometimes this guy will be picked up, but it's really going to be the guy from this angle, because now this is going to be a 3-man eye, because there's a dude over here, dude right here, dude here. The guy in the middle is usually the guy that cuts, because it's always like it's a help mismatch kind of thing, right? And you can find your way in there very easy.
And defenders must turn this way to see the ball. Like watch here, everyone on the court pretty much is.
I love that he's showing not only NBA highlights. Honestly, bro, because basketball is basketball, right? Overseas is the difference between overseas basketball, like the EuroLeague and the NBA. Like EuroLeague is the highest form of basketball overseas. The difference between the NBA and this is just the athletes are a little bit better, and that's pretty much it. Like the athletes are bigger, taller, a lot more faster, and you know the skill level is a little bit higher.
Watching,
but they're the same thing. They're very talented. They're very skilled. A lot of NBA players go and play over here, but
ball.
The way they run plays is a lot more crisp, and their style of play is a lot more crisp. Like they know that they have to rely on, you know, playing team basketball to win a little bit more so than like how NBA players' talent can naturally carry a game.
So this has to be
they're always like EuroLeague is very fun to watch for like the playmaking, just like the skill level.
Cut every single time.
Nicolaitis. Great passer, by the way. He's played in the league for a few years. Good passer.
Front or behind them here. Obviously, it may be best to go in their blind spot. But also,
so with this dude,
you can go in front or behind.
This defender right here, you got to be a little bit lower. You have to be a little bit lower, not to where you're like way down here, but to the point where you can get down here and see both. Because if he cuts to you and you're down here rather than up here, you're going to have time for him to run into you to recover. But if you're just a step too high,
obviously it may be,
you're going to react to like, oh, he's coming up. You got to get the people also used to, once you get this tag roller, you're just used to like flying out.
But oftentimes,
if you time that right,
is just fine since you'll have the momentum and a lot more speed than them. This also works really well when the ball hits the post and causes a ton of attention down there.
This dude is super tall. What the hell?
And also when your teammate drives downhill to the middle, kind of towards you, and this defender has to turn and step a bit.
Woo!
Now keep in mind that you don't want both of these cutters going,
tough,
because this defender can then guard both. And these guys play this very well because the defender covers it.
And that's why, just like he said, sometimes you get two cutters cutting at once. But when you play, the one thing we used to work on in practice, like one of the warm-up drills we used to do was shell offense, and then learning how to always have one cutter and not like two people cutting. And it works because you have your teammates, you know certain teammates' tendencies, like, oh, this guy wants to cut from here, this guy wants to cut from there. So you never have to be like, oh, I'm cutting now because I know nobody's cutting. When you have that type of team chemistry, it stops all of like the two cutters going at once, because you just know that like, okay, this guy cuts from here, let him cut, I'll cut from somewhere else on a different drive. You don't want to get two cuts on the same drive. You want to get multiple cuts on multiple drives, but never two cuts on the same drive, because it just brings too many people into the paint and bad things happen.
So the 45 is the optimal one.
See, like right now, they're both cutting.
Go. Based on.
Oh, and that's the thing. He keeps cutting, and he knew, like, all right, I already know this bro likes to cut from up here, and let me back out.
Someone doesn't force it. Another great cue.
That's a tendency thing that you have to work on in practice, because once you learn how your teammates cut and their tendencies to do A, B, and C.
Cut is a dribble at.
Everything flows smoothly.
Here, if you have a teammate dribbling across the court towards you, generally they'll create some.
It's called a clap screen. The dribble at or the clap screen is when.
So here, if you have a teammate dribbling across.
You dribble at the big, activate the big to come at you, and the big that just set the screen will then again almost run into him to create this little pocket that you can get around
the court.
Right? We call it a clap screen when I was with the Magic.
Towards you.
This is something we used to teach too, because he turns it into a screen. It's not a moving screen. It's almost just like a contact play.
Enough space for you to backdoor cut into. Like this play here probably should have been a more assertive backdoor, but it works anyways because he leads his teammate and still gets a bucket off of it.
Woke up. Again, 2-on-1 situation. He's not doing a good job of splitting two and seeing everybody, but you can't really see everybody.
Fake ups are also great, where you're acting like you're popping to catch the ball.
Fake ups, what we call just a back cut. Like just go up here and back cut back to the hoop.
Kind of baiting them into thinking that they can get a steal, and then going with a super hard cut back door. Of course, you and your teammate probably should be on the same page here, But if it works, it's a great fake to get open on a cut, and especially works well later in games when defenders get tired or when you have an aggressive defender on you.
It works the best against aggressive defenders because they like to be up into the body. So if you can ever find yourself where you have a little split of daylight between you and them, use that momentum against them. Back cut.
Then off of any of these cuts, secondary cuts are elite. In other words, yes, the first cut can most times create a basket, but as a player catches on the cut.
You know who's great at this? LeBron. LeBron and D-Wade were great at doing the double cut. Like fucking Chalmers drive. He would find freaking D-Wade back cutting.
Defenders panic and completely.
And then LeBron will come back just for a crazy jam.
Which means a secondary cut is often very open like you see here. And if you can time this up perfectly, it's an easy bucket with great momentum into it. Similarly, he's playing from the post, where as soon as the ball gets into a decent post position, the same effect happens.
So now you're just understanding how to play without the ball in a sense of like, there's not a play where I just have to know when I get to this position cut. It's more of just like an offensive thing. What space do you see as a player on the court that you can attack?
Even if it's not.
And then the more you can start to recognize it, the more you can kind of find your opportunities to cut during the game. So it's not like a robotic thing as much as it is. It's just like you're making a reaction.
Right away, it puts the defense in a position where they have to see ball and any actions that are going on further up as well. So many times their heads are turned and they can't even see the ball getting passed, making it a lot easier to actually get you the ball. Another easy situation to cut in is right after you pass the ball. So give and go. This one is, of course, a classic, but works so well right after you pass.
But this all starts with his ability to get open and get him out of position, because if he gets out of position, that means somebody else's man is going to have to help, and then you have a 2-on-1.
It's the ball. So give.
Right now, he slipped, right?
Give and go.
So he's like, oh, I got to step up and help. Puts him in an instant 2-on-1.
This one is, of course,
and then again,
of course, a classic. But works so well simply because right after the pass, most defenders will slightly turn and relax, which means it's much easier to cut effectively. Similar to this, relocating off the pass is something we see guys like Steph do all the time, and it's one of the most underrated ways to get.
So what Steph does is what we call follow your pass, right? If you pass it, just follow the momentum of wherever you're going when you pass it and just keep finishing that cut, the person you pass it to would tend to like either give you a DHO, or if there's another screen that somebody can get you with real quick, you just pass it to him. Steph is great at doing
guys
this.
Like Steph do all the time, and it's one of the most underrated ways to get wide open shots. Again, Steph lets the ball go on a pass. The defender relaxes literally on the best shooter of all time, so it'll probably happen to you too.
And even still, bro, what Steph is doing right now on this shot is incredibly difficult. I don't recommend most people to try this because you're going to not make it at a high enough, efficient enough level to justify taking it.
Defender relaxes literally on the best shooter of all time.
Ginobili relaxes for a little bit, but like
probably happened to you.
Dog, the way he catches it and shoots is like so quick. He doesn't even get his feet turned until the shot's already in the air. He just, that was all follow through that made that shot going.
Space or gets a nice exit screen for an easy bucket.
Yep,
so
keep
anytime
following
you
it.
drive,
Go to the corner.
Chaos on the defense,
there you go.
And kick. Look for.
And now it's contested. Don't do the type of shit he's doing. It's just a good basis if you're a little bit more open, then take
a
it.
nice relocation shot.
Follow your pass.
But sometimes passing and staying works just as well. Usually passing and then cutting and relocating is the best option, but there are times where once you pass, the defenders will then shift into help. And if you find yourself a nice pocket of space to get into a good scoring position, that's probably the best option. So here, instead of
anytime you pass it to a strong side, do not follow your pass, right? Do what Drew Holiday does. Get under the hoop.
Running into someone.
Wait for a split second and then read what happens, because you know if you go here, it's going to be two guys in one corner. They can both guard one. And if you just have to kind of wait, because sometimes this is the best play.
Just being patient.
You can either make a pass out or you can make a play.
A second for a drive and dump off.
But getting to the middle of the court
slightly adjusting his position to be in a better place to catch away from his defender. Now, in terms of screens, one of the best ways to get open off the ball is setting elite screens. Well, not just setting.
Yes, the better screen you can set, the better chance you get to make somebody's player kind of get that advantage, and then it starts a chain reaction. So the better screen, the better the play works,
but also
especially on the initial one.
knowing how to move.
If you don't set a screen and you let somebody just run right past you, then it's like we can't even get open enough to get the rest of the play to work.
Off of them.
That's why you got to take your time.
Them accordingly. For example, one of my favorites,
Look
not
at
just
this.
setting them, but also
And sometimes
knowing how to move.
if you're guarding a player that, or if you're on a team that switches a lot, if you're playing a team that switches a lot, do exactly what Jaime Jaquez is doing. He's screening his own man because he knows that they're going to have to switch. So he still thinks that he has him. He might think that he has Jaime, but because he set a good screen on his own man, they both react to this pass and great heads up play from Tyler Hero.
For example, one of my favorites is setting an up or a flare screen, getting them to switch, and then with that inside position, just sealing them off until your teammate can get you the ball. This is easily one of the best ways to beat switches, and although it takes some physicality sometimes, it just comes from setting an amazing screen and then timing up the...
This works better when you have a bigger wing or a guard setting it on a smaller guard, because then he can just hold them off and use that screen as a position to open up and roll to the basket.
Flash or the cut to the basket.
See what I mean? How Bruce Brown is doing it? He's just going to hold him up and just use that. Yeah. Push him up a little bit.
Similarly,
use that space to create.
When defenders switch those screens, a slip is a hell of an option too. Many times on off-ball screens, these defenders don't communicate the switch.
And this slips work best when you get like 2 plays where you get really good screens, and then it puts it on the mind of the defender to be like, oh, okay, wait for this screen or get around this screen or get ready for the screen. Slip.
Under, and this flash to the bucket or slip is very open. Or they'll both run to the teammate you're screening for simply because they're worried about...
Hey, T.Ross, what's your thoughts on Philly picking Philon? I can't say his name. I think it's good. They clearly needed a backup point guard that can initiate the offense and start things up, so they don't really have to rely on they had campaign, but they didn't have to really rely so much on Quentin Grimes to kind of do all that. So bringing in another primary ball handler who's kind of similar size to Tyrese Maxey could help kind of improve his game and kind of get him along. But I think he'll come off the bench because I just don't see him starting over Tyrese or VJ Edgecombe. And he's definitely not going to play the forward or the big wing position. So I don't know. I mean, not a bad pick. I mean, you got to take the best available talent sometimes, but we'll see how it goes.
Them getting a shot when you actually may be just as dangerous.
Calates. Great pass.
Then finally, screening-wise, are ghost screens, or rather than going to set a ball.
Ghost screens are just slips, right? When you think a big is going to come and set it, but he just kind of gets up here and just kind of slips out.
Screen, you fake it and sprint out into space.
Because then it puts pressure on these two dudes if they're switching. If there's no communication, there will be this one type of thing of like, oh, I thought he screened, and oh, it wasn't a screen. And so it gets into that back and forth of like what really happened, but the whole time it was to cause that miscommunication.
This is either going to open up a driving lane for your teammate due to miscommunication, or get you open for the same reason. This one's my go-to for sure.
It's a slip screen. Go slip, same thing.
Now a couple conceptual things to note about moving off ball. First off, constantly be monitoring throughout the game for when you have an inside position. There will be times where defenders are sleeping or just don't expect your teammate to be looking, where they give you inside position closer to the rim. I see so many players that get this and don't even realize it, so it's definitely something to be on the lookout for. Next, realize that you may not always get the ball in the first pass, but continue to...
Yeah, you don't, just because you don't get the pass in the first couple of possessions when a cut, keep cutting, keep making the same moves, because if you don't, then the defense will have to react to you, and the more you do, then just the more that, just the better opportunities that you'll get down in the game. And it wears the defense down, cause them that moment of doubt or hesitation that, could work out in your favor.
Cut to open up what we call a hockey assist, or in other words, a pass to an assist. Sometimes you're open, but this guy just can't get you the ball.
So we call high-low. If you get a double team, make it out or pass it out to your outlet, and then quickly try to get one of these two players involved.
And instead of complaining that you didn't, keep the cut going and be ready for this guy to have a better angle to get you the rock. And as a ball handler,
high-low game is what we like to call it. Made famous by a bunch of teams, but the most modern pair that I can think that was like doing work with this was like Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol. They used to have a really good tandem in Memphis where they played a lot of high-low ball, where they were into the ball to either Gasol or Randolph, and they would have a post up here, here, or here between Gasol and Randolph, and they would just work teams to death with it.
Another big point here is looking to find 2v1 situations and attacking those. It's much easier to cut when you have one defender monitoring two, so if you realize here that your teammate catches it on a short roll, for example, well, it's a 2v1 and that cut becomes a lot easier. And lastly, realize that sometimes even if you don't get the ball or get open on a cut, cutting can collapse defenders and create gravity towards you, which may open up a skip pass or something else on the next layer of defense.
Tough.
I call these cut assists. Times where you may not score or even get the ball, but simply because you cut, it opens up a bucket for other teammates. Now, once you do get the rock on these cuts, it's not always an easy bucket. And that's where finishing adaptability, comfort through.
Sometimes it's not always finishing, keeping this dribble alive. If you get a pass right here, like he's saying, sometimes it's going to be a tough finish. Sometimes defense catches up. Keep this dribble alive. And if, let's say, if he keeps dribbling out here, this might cause him to cut, or this might cause him to cut, or something else. But sometimes instead of forcing shit, just keep the dribble alive.
Awareness come in. But that's a conversation for another time. So go out, try to apply these things every time you play.
Really good video. Moving like a pro. I know there was a couple other ones. It's like, one of the best off-ball moves of all time. I'm gonna show a little bit of this and end this right here because yeah. But anyway, we're gonna watch this and show you how Clay gets his off-ball.
His first career start as a rookie. We'll tell his story a little bit later. Thompson for three.
First, you need crazy shooting ability to be this effective, but moving off the ball just causes so many problems because now you're just like, it causes you, he knows he has Clay, but sometimes it causes you not to want to help as much because you're so worried about him.
Mike not playing a lot of ticks says a lot about that young man. Thompson in the corner for three. That's his third of the half. 9 to shoot for Looney. Thompson steps behind the screen.
Great setup right here, right? Remember, when you're getting when you know a pin down is coming for you, you have to go slow to fast. You can't just like, oh, the screen's coming, just take off running. It doesn't work that way. You have to do exactly what Clay's doing, right? So he puts his hand right here. Granted, you can't push off with two, but what you can do is get close enough to him to get an exchange and get his momentum to go backwards. You see how his first step is this way and Terrence Mann's first step is that way? So now it puts him in a worse situation trying to catch up to this screen, and he knows that he's probably going to die on this screen. Great screen from Looney. I mean, in this, for an elite shooter like Clay, most guys, this is a great, recovery, and they're going to have to put this ball on the floor and go. But for like Clay, Steph, who's another elite shooter like this? Buddy Hield is really good at shit like this. Concanupple. This is all it takes. Just a slimmer of daylight, and they can get this shot off.
Thompson steps behind the screen, puts a three. That's his fourth. Good ball movement for the Warriors.
And again, Clay, it's like he gets triggered because he knows he's not going to shoot this from out here. The ball's going to him, and he's already like up. The ball's not even in his hands, and he's about to come off this handoff.
Good ball movement for the Warriors. Thompson for
that's why they were so hard to guard.
Curry into Kojimski. And now Thompson has 6 threes.
Like when you have enough shooters to be on the court that can give you space to move around to find open gaps like this, it changes the game because more shooters on the court equal guys being a little more hugged up to their guy and not being willing to like be in help.
Attacks from the wing.
But my Lord, Clay,
Thompson,
look at that, bro.
Attacks from the wing.
He feels the contact right here, trying to get over, and he tries to bait him with this foul. Off balance, but still, nonetheless, good base.
Thompson
fires.
That's a problem.
No, that's what I was asking you. Creamer is kind of bad for you.
Just another 3-man action. Split action, right? split action starts right here. And the reason why this goddamn play is so hard to guard is because you can pick your poison. You have the 2 best shooters in the world right now. He gets open. Let's say he wants to curl to the basket. Guess what can happen? If he doesn't make this pass, he can set the screen. Steph can come right back off for the exact same play he had. But he gets a good screen on both. Miscommunication, it seems like. Like, are we going to switch? Are we not? He's a step late, and it just doesn't matter. Didn't even touch the rim.
Here's Paul handling, looking for Clay again. Hides behind the Looney screen, bombs another 3. Big half there, he got going kind of early, and then the Timberwolves found a way to kind of stop him. Half there.
Yo, one of the hardest threes you could possibly take is when, like for me, I like coming down towards the basket on threes. So like threes from where I had to start up here and go down this way, or I had to just like kind of step here and then go down. I love those threes because my momentum would carry me into the shot. The thing about like the old floppies, so this is like a floppy, right? He comes down here to the middle of the court. They're about to set a double stagger screen on his way up. He's going away from the basket, and that makes the 3 harder because you have to get your momentum to swing around this way.
Got going kind of early, and then
right? So you have to get this foot down, and this foot has to swing around so that your momentum carries you this way. And so when you jump up, you still have enough power to get the shot towards the basket, right? So he gets that foot around, and he goes straight up. So tough.
Against Eric Gordon. And excellent pronunciation from you. Thompson.
Pajemski drives. Behind the back. Great ball movement.
And he said everybody would run through a wall for you. People wanted to work for you, and what a wonderful legacy.
I like that. It's an old shooter trick right here. So when you feel like you're off balance, and I can tell, like, he's going straight up, but you could kind of tell his shoulders are a little leaned back, and that triggers him to take a step forward, because when you take a step forward, your follow-through matters. Like, your follow-through will dictate, you know, it'll feel good when the shot's coming off right about here, but the follow-through, where your momentum carries you, will dictate how much further the ball goes, because it's a big difference between him leaning back, that ball will stop front right, or will stop short right off the front of the rim. But if you start to lean forward, this ball will start to carry. It's like magic. I don't know how to explain it, but the ball will start to continue to carry and hit the back of the rim more so in the front. Because if you hit the front, that's going to be either long, it's going to bounce, go off the backboard and bounce out, or it's just going to hit and go straight out. But carrying your momentum, your follow through is a big deal.
Playing for his 4th different team. Thompson, the equalizer. Nice.
Murray coming off 25 in a win against Charlotte.
See, just shoot it, stick it, land in the same spot.
Wearing the mic allows us to hear Klay Thompson coming out of the timeout.
And now the guy has rings, gold medals. He has really turned his career.
One dribble pull up, too easy.
That's a bad call by the referee.
Thompson a cut to the basket.
And that's what happens when you're not attached to a shooter and he gets free reign to run and you're not attached to him.
By the referee.
He can just do all types of stuff.
Here's Klay Thompson.
Like, this isn't a play call. This isn't anything. This isn't, they were not even really in a split action. It's Klay just moving without the ball freely. And CP3 just doing it, just going on the fly, just reading it as it happens.
Here's Klay Thompson. How many times?
It's a big stop if they can get it.
Paul finds Thompson.
He turns that into a turnaround jump shot. That's insane. That's how much he loves to shoot. Too easy. The guy, Trae Young, is guarding Klay Thompson. Even if Trae was right up on his hip, he was shooting this because Trae's so small. He knows there's nothing you can do.
And a 3-ball. Clinic. Now you know what's actually being looked at. Here's Thompson leading. One-handed shot is good.
Walks the sideline. Walks the sideline.
So it's so funny. Usually when in 77 action like this, you have the shooter in the first part because he sets this one and he'll either come back or he'll flare off this, but it was just like a slip from Clay. They're just making shit up, bro. It's insane.
Kick out to Green.
Yep. Just go find him.
A little bit of a window opens for him, and Klay Thompson. Curry bounces to Looney. Now it's Thompson. Thompson got it. Career high for the young fella. 33 points.
That pump fake is lethal.
Around to Klay Thompson checking in for the first time in the second half. Thompson just 3 points in the first half. Gets a basket there and a foul by Caldwell Pope. Thompson mid-range jumper is pure.
Here's a Golden State.
Play is nice.
Somebody put together a run. That would be for the play. And as that bucket is good. Going to kick it out here smartly.
That was a good decision.
Curling and going to the basket.
Hey, with high off the left.
To have any chance at this one. Klay Thompson bottoms a three.
The people that moved, it was a sad thing.
I love watching shooters, man.
In the stomach for what should have been a really celebratory. Here's Paul. Klay Thompson three.
There's no shame in doing most of your damage inside the three-point line. Catch and shoot Klay Thompson.
Oh, he's almost 7 foot, right? You know, you get.
Hey, again, bro, you can't just be like.
Oh, he's almost.
So anytime, like if I'm strong side, I'll be in help. But if I know the ball's up here and Klay's out here, something about it just feels like he's coming off a stagger or they're gonna do something to get him a shot. You can't just be standing straight up because if he sees that, he's moving before you are.
Right, you know, you hear those things.
And now you're dead.
Those are the things that I'm talking
it's too easy. Coach is pissed.
Now.
Thompson stays
like, what are you gonna do?
Thompson off the Looney.
Zubac has to be up.
Thompson. There's another switch. Thompson hits a three. Here's Curry veering, dishing. Paul bounces. Thompson hits from three.
Man down, man down. I mean, simple is better. Exactly. All right, y'all. Well, it's been a good stream. I will put this entire video up on YouTube again, like I have been doing for the past couple of days. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow tonight. Your boy's going to the Kanye concert out in Tampa, so I might have a little later of a stream date tomorrow than in the morning. But for the most part, you guys be easy. You know what? We haven't rated somebody in a while. Let me let's see who we got. Let's see who's out there. We'll keep it basketball. We'll go Cole. But yeah, thank you guys for rocking with me. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully free agency starts to heat up. We see some more trades and whatnot, but for the most part, it's gonna be a good summer. But you guys have a good one. I'll see you next time. Peace.